All right, what's going on? Oh, wow, great start. What's going on, y'all? We're live. Welcome back to Monday Moffcast. This is episode number 7. Put something out today that if you haven't seen already, please go watch that video. Send it a like, add a comment. This is the first full-length vlog that I did with the Brotherhood of Ancestral Masculinity, which is just the community that I've always been a part of, but we did some name changing and some rebranding, as you guys can probably imagine. If you don't know the story already, just go back to the very first video of this series. If you're looking for, there's a guy like that comments on every single video asking me why I'm on my own now. Like, I've answered it once. I'm not going to answer it again, just so you know. Like, also, like, dude, why do you care? My personal relationships are not anybody's business, especially people that I don't know on the internet. And that's going to kind of bring me to today's topic. It's not what you think. It's not this gay, what do you bring to the table? Stupid shit that people are always asking women, like the maybe one of the dumbest questions, along with like, what's your body count, that men ever ask, that just really have no bearing in reality whatsoever. But this is, hopefully I'm doing this in an effort to try to help people, specifically men, because that's the basis of everything. And this can apply to women too, but for the most part, I deal with men. I want to help men. I want to give men tips, and I want to give them, a way forward if they're kind of lost. So let me just preface this the way that I always do. I'm a fucking nobody on the internet. I'm a guy with a microphone. I'm a guy with 700 something subscribers. Like, I'm a fucking nobody. I'm just a regular guy. I'm all good. I've accomplished some things. I've done some things. I run a cool fucking business. I consider myself knowledgeable in some areas, but I'm certainly not an expert in really many things. But I know some things, and I've accomplished some things, and that's kind of the kind of guy that I am. And that being said, I have gotten a small amount of micro attention from the internet. There's people that follow me on Instagram. There's people that subscribe to me on YouTube. There's people that follow me on Twitter that I don't know, never met, don't know face to face, don't know their names, that sort of thing. We're going to kind of talk about the idea, or this parasocial relationship today, where the people that are watching this, if you're watching this right now, you're thinking that I'm talking to you specifically. You're thinking, like, in your brain, it's like, this person's talking to me. He's looking right into the camera. He's using, words like you and are, and he's talking to me. He's talking to me specifically. He's addressing me. I'm just talking into a camera. I don't know who's watching this. I don't know who's on the end of this. I don't know who's watching this video right now live. I don't know who's watching this video later. I don't know who's watching this video 6 months from now. I am just talking into a camera, and if people see it and they like it, cool. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, join the Brotherhood, all that kind of good stuff. The problem starts to become where I will give general advice, or I will just talk a little bit online on the internet here, and then people watch my stuff, which I'm always appreciative of. I love when people watch my stuff. Who wants to talk to an empty room? Who wants to talk to nobody? If nobody watched, then there really wouldn't be a reason to do this, would there? That being said, when people watch enough of your stuff and they follow you on Instagram, or they follow you on the other socials, and they start to learn more about you, they see what you do on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, they start to kind of create this narrative in their head that they know you, and that there's this sort of like friendship going on. And I'm going to say this, like, I'm not making this video trying to make anybody feel bad. I'm not sitting here saying people that watch me are fucking losers and I'm not going to hang out with them. That's not where I'm going with this. So if you think that's where it's going, just stick around. I promise we're not going there. I'm going to land this plane. But I think I'm one of the few people out there that's willing to be honest with people about this, and willing to actually talk about this. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that will talk about how much they love their fans and how much their fandom means, and how much first of all, the idea of me saying I love my fans is so fucking gay and cringy. Like, I have people that watch me and like my stuff. You guys aren't fans, right? Like, I'm a blah, blah, blah fan. You're gay. But I digress. I don't think you guys are fan. Whatever. Like, fans are for sports people. So I just say, like, hey man, if you like my stuff, you like to watch it, cool. Right? I don't call myself a fan of anybody. But I'm here to tell you guys, like, hopefully the honest and brutal truth will actually do some good, and maybe this will actually help you guys. So what a parasocial relationship in a nutshell is, it's a one-sided relationship. It happens often with people you watch on screens like YouTube, or watch on TV, watch on the radio. There's this trope that watch on the radio that you listen to, and you see on YouTube or whatever, there's this thing, this trope that goes around. It's like never meet your heroes. And generally, it's pretty good advice because what you'll do, especially if you're a sports fan or you're a fan of a specific athlete or a specific musical artist or actor, actress, even, you will start to create, because you see so much of these people, you see so much of this person, you'll create this identity of themselves in your head. And so you're like, yeah, that guy's definitely a really nice guy. I love his work. He definitely would appreciate me coming up to him and telling him how much I love his stuff. Or he definitely would appreciate, me coming up to him in the middle of dinner or a drink if I see him out in public and interrupting his time with his family and or his friends. And this gets people kind of off their rocker a bit. Like you wouldn't go up to any normal random social person that you don't know in that kind of environment and shake their hand for no reason. The only reason you know them is because you saw them on some sort of media, you saw them on a TV screen, on a computer screen, on a phone, whatever. But you have to remember, those people don't know who you are. They've never met you. They don't know your name. They couldn't pick you out of a police lineup. It's the same thing as like even people in the next county over. Like I have no idea who those people are. I could probably like throw a rock and hit a guy called John Smith, but I don't know every single person. And I know this sounds super, super obvious, and there's a reason that I'm talking about this, but these people don't know you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what your intentions are. They don't know why you're approaching them. If they're famous enough, they generally have a pretty good idea. But to expect somebody to treat you in a certain way because you're a fan of theirs or because you like their work, let's just call it what it is. It's stupid. It's very dumb behavior. You should treat everybody like you don't know them, because you don't, especially strangers. Even if you've seen them on TV, even if you've seen them play sports, because you've seen them, that does not mean you know them. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with. And what a lot of people will do as well, and there's a certain way to do that. We'll talk about practical application here, but a lot of people make this mistake if they act, like I said, they'll act in a way to these people in a way they would never act to strangers. Like you would never go up to a stranger and just interrupt them and interrupt their dinner, or like wait outside the bathroom when they're shitting just so you can get like an autograph. It's literally crazy, crazy, crazy behavior. And people often, the problem with these people, the fans, the people that want the autograph or the people that want the picture to interrupt and have a conversation, often the problem is this stems from one thing and one thing only. It stems from entitlement. They think that because they watch somebody's work or they subscribe to them on YouTube or they follow them on Instagram or they like the advice they give out, that somehow excuses them from being rude or weird or socially awkward or socially inept. And they think that they're like depositing something into this relationship when they're not. Now, if you're giving something tangible, if you are like, hey, I'm a part of your paid membership club, I am giving you money, I am giving you my time to contribute to XYZ, or I'm part of a project or a foundation that you run, or I'm a donor, or I do something tangible that other person would find value in, that's completely different. And so this starts to happen where, for a long time, I didn't really answer DMs or interact with people that followed me. People would send me messages and be like, hey, man, I love your stuff. I'm like, cool, man, appreciate it. Thanks for the support. One of the things you guys don't know, and there's no way to say this that doesn't sound like I'm full of myself and like I've got my head at my own ass, because most people don't know what this is like. Like most people don't have just random strangers following them, DMing them saying, hey, I love your stuff. And you're just like, I don't know who the fuck you are, man, but thanks. So again, if this makes me come off some type of way, it just is what it is. I'm just being honest with you guys up here. Most of the time, I used to answer every single DM that I would get when I first started doing this stuff. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. People recognize it. People like my stuff. I would answer every DM. And then what happens is, even if you answer in an innocuous way, even if you're just like, hey, thanks, man, appreciate it, cool, that's the end of the interaction. Now you've opened the door. And for some guys, you've opened the floodgates. Some people will just send you a message, hey, man, I love your stuff. And like, cool, you like the stuff. You like, appreciate it, man. And then you respond, or you read the message and you like give it an emoji, like thumbs up or like a laughing face or whatever. And that sort of reinforces now these people do have a response from you. They do have a quote unquote relationship with the real you, even though it's the most surface level, mundane, no investment relationship whatsoever. You're sort of now reinforcing this belief to them that you got, like, they know you better than anyone because now they've actually interacted with you in real time, not just watched your videos or watched your movies or listened to your music or whatever. And I learned that kind of the hard way. And because what was happening is I would respond to people, and then guys are sending me memes all day, like, hey, man, what do you think about this? Or the worst ones. And I'm trying, like I said, there's no way to say this. It doesn't make me sound like a prick, but really the worst ones. And I just got one of these the other day, and I don't remember the guy's name, but if you see this, you're the inspiration for this. So I'm talking to you, man. Guys will hit me up after maybe one message, or not even a message, but let's say we exchange. Maybe I followed the guy back because I'm like, oh, this guy seems cool. He follows my stuff. He seems like he does cool shit. Maybe this is a guy I want to stay in touch with. Maybe, he'll see some things that I post about the brotherhood and working out and training, and he'll ask some questions, and maybe he'd be a potential member down the line one of these days, planting a seed for maybe a potential way that we can work together. And they'll just bombard your inbox with questions. They will ask for advice. They will say, hey, I've got this problem, and this problem. I need you to spend time out of your days. Like, what do you think I should do with this? And it's like, now this guy sends you 7 messages who you don't even know because he saw you answer some questions before. He saw you do a YouTube thing. So he's sending you shit that you don't really like, that requires a lot of time and investment. And normally what I would do, and what I generally will do, and if you're thinking about DMing me, asking me for a fucking advice, then this is something you should know. I don't work for free. I do this stuff for a living, right? Like, the free stuff you guys get is this. This right here, this is free. YouTube is free. Calling into this show, which I don't really normally do call-ins because of time crunch with the female POV, but call into Modern Dating every single week at 9:00. We want guys to call in. If you guys have relationship issues and relationship problems like this guy did, that helps us. That makes the show better. That's giving value to us. It's helping us improve the show and improve the content. Or you find another way that adds value, which is paying me money for my time. Or it's joining one of my communities. And I responded to this guy's crazy long messages saying, hey, bro, like, respectfully, I don't answer in messages and do free consults via Instagram DMs. If you want me to take a look at your issue, you can do one of 3 things, or all 3 things. I don't care. You can book me for a coaching call, which is expensive because I don't like doing one-on-ones. You can join my low ticket community, the Academy, which is $25 a month, where we have guys that are just like you that are trying to figure out the dating world. And you have guys like me and TC and Spencer that are there as coaches that are running calls and that are answering questions. And then you can just call into the show on Tuesday at 9:00 and ask your question then, and we'll have a dialogue with you. And the guy goes, cool, man, thanks. But something like, thanks, but no thanks, I'm good. And then unfollows me on Instagram. And you guys might not think that's a big deal, unfollowing, but like, unfollowing is a deal. Like, I'm tired of pretending it's not. Unfollowing someone on Instagram, you're saying something, because it takes no effort just to close the chat. You're saying something when you're unfollowing. So clearly this guy was butthurt because I didn't kowtow to his demands, and I didn't just, and like, this is why you probably shouldn't meet your heroes if you're this fucking retarded. Nobody owes you anything. Your entitlement gives you nothing. Just because you like my stuff doesn't mean that I have to take time out of my day to walk you through whatever issue you're going through. I don't know who you are, and you're not giving me anything of value that would compel me to help you out. Everything is transactional. All relationships are transactional in some way, shape, or form. If you want to get value, you should be giving value. You shouldn't just be asking fucking shit for free and asking for handouts. Like, there's just nothing, like, no one is going to give you shit in this life. Like, you have to work for what you want. You have to find ways to add value. So, there are ways to do this. And I've done this with guys that I've wanted to rub elbows with, and guys that I've wanted to get to know, and guys that I've wanted to network with. And it's really simple. You don't expect anything from them. There's a decent book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Jab, 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 Right Hook, where essentially it's like you give value, you give, you give, you give, and then you ask. I think it's a decent book. It's decently okay. But in any case, it's not a bad strategy and it's not a bad thing to think about. Essentially, it's like lead with more value than you get. And then maybe at one point, if you build up enough goodwill, it might be worth an ask. But you have to know what that other person finds valuable. Like liking my Instagram stories or commenting that you like my stuff is not adding value to me. That's cool. I appreciate it. But part of what adding value is, and this is where a lot of people struggle, I think, is that they don't take the time to try and figure out what the person who they want something from, what they find valuable. And it's not really difficult. And I think this is why it's frustrating sometimes, because I bet if I asked random people on the street, I would say, what do you think is valuable to me? They'd probably say money, probably say women. They'd probably say being in good shape, just by looking at me. But it's like, if you guys watch my stuff and you know me as well as you think you do, it shouldn't be a real surprise as to what I find valuable. I find value in money that I make from guys that are joining the group. I find value in helping men. I find value in ways to spread the word about how I help men so I can continue to do this and not have some soul-sucking 9-to-5 job where I can do this as my full-time gig. Like, those are the things that I value. And people that watch me should know that. And if you don't, well, I guess now I'm making it perfectly and obviously clear. The problem is a lot of people don't like that answer. For whatever reason, people think that I should just work for, and I'm not saying me in general. I'm just talking about people in general. Like some people, like a lot of people out there think that their favorite creator or the guy they're a fan of should work for free or should just give them free advice. And it all goes back to this parasocial relationship where you know them and they don't know you. So how do you fix that? How do you become somebody that they know and that they like and they want to do? I'm not even saying doing a favor, because it takes a lot for me to do a favor for someone. It takes a lot of goodwill and it takes a lot of time for me to go out of my own way and do something that I don't benefit from. And it might make me sound like an asshole. And there might be people that are watching this. It's like, oh, I do favors for people all the time. Like, why don't you just be humble? It's like, well, I'm not you, bro. Like, I've got shit to do. I've got goals to reach. I've got a business to run. I've got things to take care of. If I spend all my time working for free or doing something that's a favor to somebody else, because here's also what a favor is. A favor is doing something for somebody without getting anything in return. It's completely altruistic. Unless you think that intrinsic benefit is the antithesis of altruism, and I kind of do, but that's a story for another time. So what am I going to do? Am I going to spend all day just doing shit for other people and then especially strangers, and neglect my own people, neglect my own tribe, neglect my own circle, neglect my own family, neglect the people that I take care of and the people that take care of me? So entitlement and thinking that you're owed something and that somebody doesn't give you the answer that you want. Most people have this. And if you can be a person, if you can be a guy that goes into any interaction with no entitlement whatsoever, and you can think like, this person doesn't know me, they don't owe me shit. I'm hoping that what I'm going to present them with is valuable to them, but if it's not, I'll understand. And if you go into interactions like that, you will succeed. I'm not the most well-connected guy in the world. I'm a pretty decently connected guy. I've met some very famous people with very high net worths and a high amount of stardom. And I've done my best to always just treat them like regular people. And I've been commented on it before where they're like, you know what, man, like a lot of people just want to mob me and talk about my playing days because I know athletes, or they want to talk about this, or they just want to talk about all of this stuff that I'm constantly hounded by on social media and in interviews, and I've got to be so buttoned up. They go, you wouldn't believe, you have no idea what a relief it is to be just treated like a normal person for once, because I don't ever get that. Now, that's not everybody. There's some people out there, and I'm not talking about like crazy A-list celebrities, but there are people out there that have that entitlement because they've been treated a certain way for so long. Like a very quick story. A buddy of mine was a golf pro in Mexico at one of the resorts, and Tiger Woods was coming there to practice one day. And Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers of all time. He's been around for 25, 30 years at this point. whatever. If you don't know who Tiger Woods is, I guess Google him. He's golf, right? He's golf. So very particular about his clubs, very particular about his setup, very particular about his balls, pause. But they didn't have his preferred golf balls. And he comes to the range and he starts hitting, and he's like, my buddy's name is Stu. He's like, Stu, like these balls are pretty soft, man. Like, what's the deal? And it's when my buddy was telling me, it's not that he was making a criticism of like these balls suck, like where my ball. It was the simple fact that this guy had been catered to for so long, and the red carpet had been rolled out to him for everywhere. He's so used to people shaking his hand, holding his doors, all of his meals being comped, like really bought into this fame. He couldn't even comprehend and fathom that he couldn't get like his preferred golf balls. It was just not a thought that ever occurred. It's like the old John Mulaney story stand-up where he was writing a skit for Mick Jagger for SNL, and Mick Jagger would just yell out Diet Coke, and then one would appear in his hand because that's just the way that it worked. So in any case, there are people like that, but the guys that I've met generally not like that. They want to be treated like regular people. They don't want to be in the spotlight because they spend all their time in the spotlight. They just like to relax and not have to watch what they say. But you try to find ways that add value to them, and that's a big one. Now, I did this over the course of years with Jack Donovan, for example. Now, I still am at a point. I've met Jack Donovan. I've hung out with Jack Donovan. I've shot guns with Jack Donovan. I met him a couple of weeks ago we've had a couple of discussions and chats over the last year or so. But if he would like to call me his friend, I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'd love to call Jack my friend. I'd be like, yeah, he's a guy that I know. He's a really cool guy. I've met him once. Seems really cool. Great dude. Talk to him sometimes. But I am hesitant to even call him my friend until he says, yeah, man, we're friends. Like, okay, cool. Because I don't want to overstep any boundaries. I don't want to be a guy like the books. I love his books. I love his stuff. I love all the stuff that he talks about. Essays like I Don't Care and books like The Way of Men and Becoming a Barbarian have completely changed my outlook on life as a man, as an adult, and they always will. And there's major, major reverberations in how I carry myself from his work. That being said, I followed him on Instagram. I mean, I would leave some comments here or so, and I would like respond to something, or I've bought both his books hardcover. I've bought products from him, like his rash guards. I've just always wanted to support and that stuff that he finds valuable. And now it's like we can have a conversation where it's like, hey man, like, what do you think about this? And I think that's valuable because it's like, well, I didn't think about that. Maybe there's some ideas we could trade, or maybe there's some ideas that I could help him flesh out for his next book. And I'm not saying I'm responsible for any of that stuff, but it's taken a long time to figure out what the guy adds value. And it's just like, now I would say we have a good relationship. I think that there have been guys that have done similar things with me. There's guys that came into the community. They did the first thing right off the bat, which is, here's what's valuable to you. I want to do that for you because I appreciate the work that you do. I want to allow you to keep doing it. Great. Guys that come to my events, guys that come to the most events, those are the guys I take care of. Those are the guys I look out for. Those are the guys that I give leadership positions, guys like TC and Spencer, guys that are really good at what they do and they continue to add value and they just give and give and give. And when they ask, the answer is almost always a resounding hell yes, because they've added value to a point where it's like, yeah, man, this guy's added so much value. I'm just going to say yes. Like he doesn't even have to ask. That's the kind of guy that gets stuff done. That's the kind of guy that other guys who are connected want to be around. Who can you introduce me to? What value can you add? What special skill can you teach me? Or what can you do for me that is going to somehow make me more money, make me more attractive to women, get me in touch with the better network, improve my life in some capacity that doesn't cost me an inordinate amount of time or money? Excuse me. And if you can start looking at relationships, especially with people that are higher above you in status and perceived status, then you'll be on the right track. But this idea of entitlement, that I watch your shows or I subscribe to you on YouTube and therefore you owe me something, it's really a really shitty way to go about life. And it's going to be very disappointing for you. The right way to do something is almost never the easy way. It's really easy just to slide into somebody's DMs and ask them for money. But you probably aren't going to get it. You're probably going to catch a block, or probably going to be even left on red, or probably they won't even open your message at all. What's difficult is building a relationship, finding what adds value, giving things to them that they may or may not use. This is also another example where it's like, I run a lot of trips. I run a lot of meetups in the brotherhood. I don't like it when guys come to me and say, how can I help? I fucking hate that. And I know it's coming from a good place, but I try to tell the guys in the brotherhood, it's like, look, don't come to me asking me to tell you what to do. Because really, if you think about it, all they've done now is put more work on my plate and say, hey, take time out of whatever you're doing right now or whatever else you had planned or whatever was on your priority list. Take time out of your day, go through these things that need to be done, determine what I might be able to help you with, and then walk me through that task, and then basically babysit me or let me report back to you, and then you grade it. Versus, hey, Moff, I know what's really important to you. I know that meetups are like the most important thing. Here's what I've proposed. I've budgeted out a trip. This is how many guys. These are the dates. This is why I think it would be a good trip. These are what the proposed cost is going to be. And this is how we can use it for marketing and how we can attract new members. I would be overwhelmingly impressed with the guy that did that. And guess what? Somebody that comes to me with that, more often than not, is just going to get my stamp of approval. Unless the event is so like crazy out to lunch that it makes no sense. And then I would just be like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here? And that's not something that would really happen. But I'm so much more likely and willing to tell somebody, yes, we'll do that if they've come prepared and come to work done on the front end. They know what adds value. It's just sales, man. Versus somebody that's just saying, hey, like, what do you need me to do? I need you to go figure it out and come back with an option or a solution. Or it's like, and it's the same thing when it's like, hey, I've got a problem, or I've got something that needs to be fixed out. I'm looking for a solution. It's like, okay, well, what have you tried to do so far? Or what's a proposed solution that you think you could implement? I don't know. That's why I came to you. It's like, well, now you're making my problem your problem, and I don't do that. Right. So if you have a problem, come to me with a couple of solutions. Come to me with a couple of ways that you're thinking about, maybe this will fix it. And maybe you just need to have your blind spots checked. I'd much rather a guy come to me and say, hey, like, got this issue I'm working through. I've thought of 2 or 3 answers or solutions, but I want you to check my blind spot, see if I'm missing anything. And then maybe you can help me, point me in a direction where it's like what you would do if you were in my situation, or what you think the best solution is. That guy's going to get my time and he's going to get my attention far faster than the guy's like, dude, I got this problem. I have no idea what to do. Can you help me? I'm probably going to tell that guy to go fuck off and to go figure it out and like be a grown man, and, you know, don't just look at me to wipe your ass and baby walk you through life. But there's so many guys that do this. What I'm telling you guys is, if you will choose to take the road less traveled and you choose to do the harder thing, do the work. I'm all about doing the harder things. Like I never tell guys to take the easy way out. Never. There's very few to maybe nothing in this life that you will get that is better by taking the easy road, that is better than what you would have gotten by taking the harder road. It just doesn't really exist. So the next time you're trying to fight the urge, or the next time you're feeling the urge to do the easy thing, just think about what the hard thing would be. And more than likely, it's not going to be the most immediate thing. Like the immediate thing is usually the easy thing, and it's not going to get you immediate results. So this is why it's important, like especially building relationships. Building relationships take time. They take weeks, months, sometimes years to get into. Right now, there's ways to shortcut that. You know, you are much more likely to build a relationship with me, and you're going to do it much faster if, great, you're a subscriber. That's like baseline. Like you subscribe to the channel, you watch my stuff, cool. Like that's the lowest form of investment you could possibly have, because it takes nothing. It takes no investment. All you're doing is clicking a button. It helps me get closer to monetization, which is cool, but really it's low investment on your part. So it's like, what's a big fucking deal? Next step up that is, you know, and let's just include like comments and subscriptions. Yeah, doing stuff on YouTube, cool, on the free stuff. All right, fine, well and good. Then the next thing is like, okay, now maybe whenever I get paid memberships, now I'm going to pay him off X number of dollars a month to do the chat. I'm probably not going to do anything like that, but the next step would be, I'm going to join his low ticket community. I'm going to join the academy for $25 a month. Cool. Come on the Zoom calls where you can talk to me, where you can ask me questions, where you can meet other guys in the community. Next step up from that, you join the brotherhood. wow, now you're serious. Now you're in the real group. Now you're in the thing that I care about most in this world over literally anything that I will die trying to continue to protect, and then I'll die trying to continue to make better. And I'm never going to quit trying to make it better and make it work. I forgot my water for this stream, unfortunately. Now there's still a step up, like, because once you get in, that's not the end of it. Now you come to a meetup. Now you come to 2. Now you come to 5 meetups, right? Now we see each other all the time, and you're paying money to come to these trips. That's helping me put on more trips, and we're building a relationship, and we can bounce things off each other. That's just the way that it is. So you can build relationships really quickly, or you can build them really slowly. It's just dependent on what you have more of. Do you have more time than you have money? Then be prepared to invest that over a long period of time trying to build a relationship with somebody. Do you have more money than you have time? Then maybe you should use some of that money to try and shortcut so you can reduce on the time that it's going to take you to build a relationship with somebody. This is networking 101, guys. This is trying to get into a better room. So you don't need to be a brainiac with special skills. You don't need to, it's always good. Like, you should be good at something, because think about what your skills are and think about what value you add. And your value add might be, I'm the guy that can put this guy in touch with this guy. That's a lot of what I do. Part of my role in the brotherhood as the leader, as the team captain, so to speak, even though I'm the, founder and the leader, I don't really have an official title, but I run the damn thing. I pride myself on being a connector. I pride myself on being a facilitator. I pride myself with somebody that says, hey, I'm thinking about joining your group. I'm looking for guys that are interested in this, or that are skilled in this area, or that are just in my geographic location that like to get together. And I'm like, cool, you need to talk to this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Meet him, have a cigar or whiskey or whatever. Talk to him, get to know him, have a good time. Versus like, oh yeah, man, I don't know. Why don't you just come into the group and like poke around and like make a post and see if anybody likes that kind of stuff. It's like, no. I'm going to facilitate an introduction. It's like, I'm going to get you connected to 3 guys within like the first 48 hours that you're here. And you guys are going to get on a Zoom call, or if they're local to you, you guys are going to go grab a drink or a cigar or something like that. And you're going to talk or grab lunch, whatever. And you're going to start off by having a great time. And that doesn't have to be in like your own private community. That can be anything. That can be people that you want to meet and network with. Now, at the same time, people do business with people that they know. And so, like I said, if you're not willing to take the quote unquote shortcut of like paying into a new room, you're just going to have to spend time building that relationship. But that's why relationships and solid relationships are so valuable, because they do take a lot of time and they do take a lot of effort to maintain. And so just think about it like that, guys. If you haven't put significant work or effort into getting to know somebody or building a relationship, then there probably isn't one. You might think, see, and here's the thing too. Well, I watch all of your videos. I've watched every single video. I watch every Navigating Modern Dating. I watch every Moffcast. I watch every female POV. That's a lot of time investment for you. That's not necessarily a lot of value for me. This goes back to figure out what this person finds valuable and why. And then if you want to build a relationship with them, find out what they find valuable and then give them value. But you can't come into relationships and you can't want something from somebody and then expect them to do it in the way that you want them to. That's what's so frustrating about some of these interactions. It's like, I want this from you. And you go, okay, well, I have what you want. Therefore, I have the leverage and I have the cards. You want something from me, but you want to demand it that I do it on this basis, on this timeline, for this cost. That's just not how things work. Ideally, you have something that's mutually, ideally, there's a mutual beneficial potential relationship here where you've got something that I want, I've got something that you want, and then we figure out a way to make a trade. But let's say you don't. Let's say you don't have anything that I find valuable. It's like, well, you better go find something valuable that you can give me. And I'm just telling the truth, man. Like, a lot of people won't say this stuff to you. A lot of people just be, oh, like, I love my fans. Like, I always love hearing from you guys. They don't give a like sports. Like, most people don't care. Most people don't fucking care. Most people are doing a job. They're like, oh, like, how many tickets did we sell? How much money did we make from this concert? You know, how much money did the movie make? But and there's some people out there be like, yeah, like, I would not be an actor. I wouldn't be an athlete. I wouldn't be a whatever if not for the fans, because they're the ones that pay and buy the tickets and that sort of thing. But the buck doesn't stop there, because if you're somebody that plays in front of 80,000 people, then everybody's kind of the same. Like how are you, if you're one of those 80,000, how are you going to separate yourself from the other 79,999 people? Most people are just not going to do anything. So this is the thing. Most people have this entitled mindset where whoever they watch or subscribe to or give money to, buy tickets, they owe them something in return. And that's not always the case. You've got to kill your ego when it comes to this, and you've got to kill your entitlement when it comes to this as well. I asked a buddy to do me a favor the other day, and it's something that I think is valuable to him. I think that he would like to do. I know it's kind of asking something that maybe he might not do because it may be a conflict of interest. And I said I'd pay him, and if he's not cool with it, that's totally fine. And I mean that. It's like, dude, if you don't want to do it, just say no. It's really no big deal. But I have no expectation that he's going to say yes. If he says no, I'll find an alternative. I'm not going to be mad at him because I understand that he's going to have his reasons for saying no. And that's just the way that it is. And maybe that just means I need to continue building the relationship because I haven't built up enough goodwill where this guy's willing to do me a favor and willing to do me a solid. And guess what? That's okay. Stop worrying about people should be giving you things and just worry about the way things are. This is something that people tend to not be able to wrap their minds around. If you spend time, every minute, every second that you focus on, well, it shouldn't be this way and the world should be different, is time that you are losing. Other people are beating you. You're losing to people that don't care how the world should be because they understand. Not only do they understand how the world is, they use it to their advantage. While you're complaining and crying and pissing and bitching and moaning, they're winning. This is like a very quick aside. A lot of people, whoever's watching this, you probably don't remember this. If you remember this, then you've been around for a long time. Before I even got on YouTube, I used to be on this little audio app called Stereo. Stereo, there's no video, there's no face. You literally just get on there and you can have conversations with random people all over the world. You literally just need to download the app and have an internet connection. It's basically anybody can use it. And you can talk about anybody, whatever, but it's this subculture and there's these personalities and people think they're podcasters and they think that they're like these celebrities and nobody gives a fuck what they have to say. But I got back on there the other day just for my own morbid amusement. I shouldn't have re-downloaded the app ever. And I just realized it goes, oh my, like nothing has changed. I've been off the app for like 2 years and I just went back and like nothing's changed. It's just a bunch of dumbasses sitting around complaining about the way the world is that have nothing to show for it, that aren't doing anything to change it, that are, and some of these talks and these conversations go for hours. I mean, there's people that talk for 4, 5, 6 hours a day on this app. And maybe they make a little money off of it. There used to be a creator program where I would make some decent money. I wasn't making a lot. I was making like $200 a month, which was more than anybody was making on Stereo. I think I had like monthly subscribers, but that's not that much money. But these people just talk forever. And it's just, there's so many people that are just sitting around talking about things that I realized again, and I had to relearn why I quit this app is because everybody here is sitting around talking about things and no one's actually doing anything. People are talking about the way the world should be, and they're not actually talking about the way the world is, nor are they using it to their advantage. They're just complaining. And they're in the same exact position they were 2 years ago. They're with the same people, having the same old tired conversations, having the same old dumb arguments, like low IQ retards, just like no one knows what they're doing. So I'm going to undownload that app. I'm never going to go back on that thing. But I digress. That's besides the point here. But my whole overarching point is I'm going to bring this home and land this plane. Figure out what people find valuable and give that to them if you want to build a relationship with them. Kill your entitlement. Just because you watch somebody's movies or listen to their music or watch their shows or watch them on YouTube, follow them on Instagram, send them messages that you appreciate their work, that doesn't mean anything. They might appreciate it. They might be thankful. But especially if it's depending on their level of popularity, depending on their level of status, you have to work even harder to separate yourself from the pack. I'm not even talking about myself at this point. I'm just saying in general. Like, You're probably never going to rub shoulders with Elon Musk. There's just too many. It's just not possible. But somebody like me, you might. If you're here watching this and you like what I have to say and you like the stuff that I'm about, if you like the stuff that we do on this channel, it's pretty easy to get to me. I mean, I read all the DMs on my Instagram for the most part. Like, you can easily follow me. I'm not on private. You can follow me on Twitter. You can continue to watch my stuff here. You can get into my communities. You can come into my meetups. You can meet me in person, shake my hand if that's what you want. Not like I'm a fucking celebrity, but that's the whole reason I do this. I do this because I want to build a brotherhood of men that like to do hard shit, tough shit, cool shit, that believe in us versus them, and that believe they're not going to just pay attention to all the bullshit of the world that wants to keep them fat, tired, lazy, broke, stupid, and fucking poor. Low testosterone, sexless. So if men want to show up and they want to get better results out of life, cool. I'm down. But you got to show up in a way that I need you to show up. You don't get to show up in the way that you want to show up and say, hey, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to join the brotherhood, but I'm not going to go on meetups. It's like, then you can fuck off, because this is what we're doing. Then just piss off, dude. Go find something else. Go find like an online circle jerk club where everybody talks about doing shit instead of actually doing shit, because that's not what we're about here. There's plenty of that out there already. And that's not what we're going to be. And maybe that doesn't make me as popular as it will. Maybe that will never make me as popular as I want to be, because I refuse to talk about like mudslinging and retarded bullshit in the mainstream. And I just talk about stuff that actually tries to help people. And maybe I'll never go viral. Maybe I'll never be popular because of that. But at least I'll still be good looking and jacked. At least I'll still be good looking and jacked. What can I say? And I'll have a great tribe of guys that I like spending time with that are going to be lifelong friends of mine. And I'm cool with that. So again, man, like, this is just a little bit of a PSA that if you think about sliding my DMs and I don't know you, you've been warned. And if the dude, I don't even remember the guy's name, but if you're watching this, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you got so fucking butthurt about. I don't know on what planet you can go up to a person on the street and demand that they give you advice and they don't know who you are and they have the balls. They have the fucking balls to tell you, like, hey, man, this is what I do for a living. Like, can you pay me for my time, or can you join my community? No. Okay. Then why'd you want my advice anyway? Because if you're not willing to do the bare minimum, if you're not willing to call into the show, you're not willing to pay $25 fucking dollars to get into the lowest ticket community that I have, or pay for coaching, then you probably don't value what I say. Like my advice is, and that's how you deal with time wasters. Like that guy, I could have probably given that guy amazing advice, but if it's not worth $25 or it's not worth an hour-long Zoom call, then he probably wasn't going to do anything with it anyway. He's probably just going to be another motherfucker that's looking for validation on his stupid fucking choices, which is what most people are anyway. And that's why I charge what I charge. So in any case, going to wrap up there. Please go check out that vlog. I'm really proud of it. Our videographer, Aaron, who has done he does almost all of our stuff. He cuts up our clips. He does the podcast intros, everything like that, all the sizzle reels. Dude's amazing. I've known him for a couple years now. He's going to be coming with us on a lot more meetups. I'm hoping that video or those vlogs really inspire you guys to take a look behind the scenes about the kind of people that we have coming to these things. I know it's long, so skip around if you have to. It's about an hour. So skip around. And, but I would say the first like 25 minutes or so for sure. And then the last 15 minutes or so for sure. Like if you're going to watch any of it. But you know, I don't want all of our stuff just to be like movie trailer explosions. Like we're these hardcore band of guys that are pretending to be Navy SEALs, because we aren't and we never have been. And so if you're looking to kind of get to know the guys a little bit before you maybe want to book a call to learn about the brotherhood, or if you're just kind of get a better look of what guys are like behind the scenes and what kind of a meetup sort of looks like for us, that's a great video to watch. And there's going to be more coming. We're going to Breckenridge next week. We've got another MMA meetup coming up next month. We're going to do our Full Spectrum Warrior training. If you guys don't know about Rich Graham and Full Spectrum Warrior, they're great partners. We're going to do 2 events with this year. Got another 2 Algonquin trips coming up this year, and a lot of other cool shit. VIP, right? If you guys have ever seen us rolling around in the sand at 4 in the morning, that's going to be going again. So, and we're going to have videographer and photographer for it all. So hope you guys enjoy that. Please, if you would be so kind, like and subscribe. It helps out a lot, helps me get pushed. And if you want to talk with me, work with me, get to know me, you know how to do that now. So in about an hour and a half, we're going to have about an hour and a quarter. We're going to have the female POV back tonight, 8 o'clock tomorrow, Navigating Modern Dating with me and TC. But yeah, appreciate you guys as always for watching. Hope you got some good insight out of this, and I hope you use it to your advantage.